Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and my ReBoxing video for the Great Wall. Awaken Realms tends to do a decent job with their included inserts. My goal here for this ReBoxing was to get the walls stored away pre-assembled so that I don't have to keep assembling those each time. The second main goal was to get rid of the Ancient Beasts box here, which is, not really a standard board game box size or shape or sturdiness. So to get rid of that and basically get everything back into, the three standard boxes here. And I was pretty successful. We'll talk about at the end what I didn't quite get back into the boxes and why. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and take a look here. Basically, what I've done for the Great Wall here is put everything where you would have expected it to go based on Awaken Realms' included insert here. You'll see I also got the stretch goal rulebook here. I have not quite made a decision on stickering the meeples yet, but basically I took all the stretch goal stuff and put it into this main box. So both rule books are on top here. All of the player boards are in this protective sleeve. All the sticker sheets are on top of the game board. And now here we have basically everything from the core box and the stretch goal box here in the main box, everything in its spot. So this is all the resources put out into their tray. There's actually lots of lids here, which is fine. Keep everything in place. So here's the resource tray. This is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. Okay. Now, basically, I went ahead and undid the meeples, so they're all just loose in here. The resource tray is going to keep them all in place, though, especially with this lid then on top of the resource tray. I haven't seen any shuffling around like that, but you'll notice that like the bannermen are in here, and the unique soldiers are in here. So basically, all of the meeples for the red squadron are in here. The only thing that didn't fit was the turtle tanks, the unique soldiers for the green meeples, for obvious reasons. If you remember, or if you saw the unboxing video, those things are super chunky, and I'll show you what happened with those. So, all right. And these tokens came as part of the black powder expansion. There's plenty of room in the black powder expansion that I could have stored them in there, but I felt like I would want to keep them with I haven't, had a chance to play with them yet, so I'm not sure how often they pop up. But for right now, they're just in there in a baggie, protected, in with the meeples. That just kind of makes the most sense to me. All right, all of this is all cards here, and there is room if all you have is the core box or want to keep everything in their own boxes. There's room in all these compartments to have sleeved cards, but I probably am not going to sleeve these particular cards. I don't think there's a lot of shuffling going on, so without sleeving them, there's plenty of room to fit the stretch goal cards and base game cards in here. This little baggie already had the T markers and honor track tokens. All I did was add in the orange ones from the stretch goal box. I added in this +1 token that you're going to need for I think it's 2-player games, and then this was a little gift from Awaken Realms. This is to track which command card is being activated. So those are in a nice little baggie. The only thing that I don't really like just floating around is this first player token. But again, this is not an integral part of the game, so I'm really okay with it. If I end up painting it, maybe I'll try and put it more protective somewhere, but that's just kind of floating around. I'm okay with that at the end of the day. All right, and then I have a baggie full of the shame tokens here. I forget what I was calling them during the unboxing, but it was incorrect. These are the shame tokens, which are probably just going to be dumped into a pile or into a cup or something. You know me, I don't like using baggies, but this worked out well for those being baggied up. And then I have here the orange faction. So this well is plenty big enough for the orange faction. And something that I may consider doing in the future is moving the green faction over to this well to see if the turtle tanks will fit in here with the green faction, since this is a deeper well, but I also want to make sure I have room for these. So we'll see. I threw Genghis Khan in here simply because he, you know, there's plenty of room in here, and he's the only Meeple that didn't quite fit, and all the Genghis Khan cards are in here, so that's keeping all this content together. All of my, you know, oversized cards are in here. All of the miniature cards are right here, and right here I have tucked away these 100-point markers here. From what I have seen, if you're playing the cooperative version or the solo version, you don't acquire honor nearly as much or as high, so I doubt I'll be using those tokens a lot. And that's a good space. Again, if you were sleeving these cards, it would take up more room in this well, and you might not have room for these right there, but I'm not planning on sleeving, at least this game. So, all right, that is essentially how I got all of the stretch goal content into the base game box. Spread all those out a little bit. Let's put this back away so you guys can see how everything goes back in here now. Everything is flat and flush. No lid lift or anything like that. All right, so that is the main box. So now you might be wondering, or you might already know, what is in the stretch goal box if we emptied it out. Well, it's pretty simple. Ta-da! I have the wall sections and the barricade sections in the stretch goal box. I took out the insert since I didn't need it anymore, and they fit just perfectly in there. The barricades are a little tricky because to make this work, you kind of have to slot them in these specific spots. I'm probably going to move them, and I'll tell you where here in a little bit, but certainly with just the wall sections, they're easy, goes in there easily. There's plenty of room for the lid to close. The barricades literally are like right at the lid, so I would hate for something to, you know, me to stupidly put something heavy on top of the box and then crush the barricades, which is why I'm probably going to pull them out. I tried like squeezing them in here. You can fit, you know, like 3 in here like this, but at the end of the day, you can't fit them all. So, but yeah, basically the stretch goal box is now housing the wall sections. Now, I have the Meeple version, and I'm guessing that my Meeple version stretch goal box is a lot thinner, not nearly as deep as if you had the miniatures version. So, again, there might be room to fit everything that I needed to fit in this box, but I'm not sure whether all the miniatures would fit in the core box. So, all right, last box here is the black powder expansion. This one, again, is pretty straightforward. Black powder expansion and stickers have been kept with the black powder. Take the lid off, and so what you'll see here is that I have added in the ancient beasts. All right, I've left the turtle tanks in. Again, I may consider, like I said before, trying to fit those into the well, the larger well with the green stuff, but basically I have my ancient beasts here. I have all my black powder stuff. I have my Iron Dragon exclusive miniature here, and the rat miniature just kind of floating around. And then all the cards, really. So these are all the Horde cards that are specific to black powder. That's basically in a few general cards. The Iron Dragon board is the same size as that, and so then I just decided to place the Iron Dragon cards with it. You could stick these cards over here and have this extra well, so I may like the rat miniature really doesn't fit there, but I may stick like the first player marker there or something like that if I feel like it's not being protected. Who knows? and then these are the Ancient Beast cards, and then the Black Powder specific cards. So everything fits. The only thing we're missing, a keen eye may notice, is the towers that come with the Black Powder expansion. These are similar to the wall sections. They're cardboard, and ideally you build them once and then you don't have to keep building them, because the barricades were quite easy to put together, and I could easily see myself breaking those down and putting them back together each time if I needed the space for them. But the wall sections and then these towers here, which you can see are even laid down on their sides, are taller than the wall sections are, thicker than the wall sections are tall. There's 4 of them, and they don't fit in any of the boxes. They could technically, if you had nothing else. No, it doesn't even look like they would fit in the main box turned on their sides. So these are, at least in the Meeple version, don't fit in any of the boxes in any way, shape, or form, pre-assembled. But these on the walls they were not obnoxious to put together, but they're certainly not something I would want to have to do every time I set up the game. So what I've gone ahead and done is ordered basically a card storage box off of Amazon Mint, designed to hold, I think it's like holds 400 playing cards, whether they're Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or something like that. It's meant to just be a storage box. It's just white cardboard, pretty straightforward. It's like a 4 or 5 pack for $9. I'm sure I'll find a use for the other ones down the road, but these are going to fit in there. And I believe I should have enough extra room for the barricades. And so, yes, I realized that I got down to 3 boxes, got rid of a 4th box, and I'm adding a 4th box, but again, everything's assembled. This is a lot sturdier box, and so when those boxes come in, I will show off how those fit in there. I think they're going to fit in nicely, kind of be snug but not tight, so that they don't rattle around. And I'll just usually you can find a spot like that amongst your gaming shelves, where some board games don't quite match up. You have an odd size game, makes an odd size extra hole, and there you go. So these are the only thing that I did not get back into the box, and I'm okay with that. I even have some shelf space where I store some miniatures and some dice towers and things like that these could sit on, and will probably sit on until I receive my boxes next week. So that's going to be it for my reboxing video of the Great Wall from Awakened Realms. Up next, we'll be doing a how to set up and play video for the Great Wall, which will probably come sometime next week. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.